Hi, I'm Chetna Makan and I'm thrilled to be back here on the Waitrose channel. Christmas is fast approaching and it's all about sharing food with friends and family, a table full of feast, abundance, but we also need to make sure that we don't waste any of the food. So today I'm going to show you a delicious way to use up any leftover roast potatoes you might have. I'm going to be making aloo parathas, which is a very popular Indian stuffed flatbread. Aloo means potatoes, and I'm going to be making roast potato parathas. Normally I would boil some fresh potatoes for the filling, but today I'm going to be using the leftovers, going to spice it up and make a lovely filling. The filling will have roast potatoes, crunch of the onions, heat from the chilli, and the lovely spicy sour chaat masala. Absolutely delicious. Right, I'm going to start cooking, and the first thing we need to do is make the dough. So I have just got some plain white flour here. You could use some chapati flour if you have any at home. Otherwise you could mix some whole grain and plain flour as well. And to this I'm going to add some salt, a little bit of oil, and then just bring it together with some water. You really don't need a stand mixer or any kind of machine for this. It's so simple to knead this dough. Just the only tip I can give is don't add all the water together when you're making any kind of flatbreads. Just add little at a time, knead, and add a bit more. I often find people quite scared or kind of not confident enough to make flatbreads, and really it is the easiest thing to make, much easier than a normal bread. We have so many varieties of flatbread. We have chapatis, parathas, puri, naan, and they are all really simple to prepare. Once the dough has come together, all we need to do is just a couple of kneads to smoothen it out. So there, the texture has changed, it has smoothened out, and that's it. I'm going to put it back in the bowl. Very important to let it rest. If you start rolling it out straight away, you can, by the way, if you are hungry or in a rush, but it just relaxes the dough and makes the flatbreads softer. So cover, and then we can make the filling in the meantime. Obviously I have got the leftover potatoes. Now because they have been sitting for a day, they are a bit hard on the outside, which is why I'm going to grate them, because that would make a really nice softer filling. It's just the outside that needs a little bit of help. If you try this and like this, this is a really good way to use your leftover vegetables as well, because you can make a roast vegetable paratha as well, because it'll taste amazing with all the spices and the onions and chilies. So it could be like parsnips, carrots, some onions. Yeah, you could just grate all of that and then make a nice filling for your parathas. Or you could even mix it together like a roast potato, parsnip, carrot paratha. The whole idea is to not waste any of this delicious food and turn it into another really nice meal. And this is the perfect way to spice them up and make them into the parathas. And the link to the full recipe is in the video description. This is really easy and simple to prepare and doesn't take very long. So really you have no excuses. That's the potatoes done, and I'm going to add some lovely things to this, starting with a handful of fresh coriander. If you have some other herbs lying around in the fridge like chives or dill or a little bit of mint, you can even add those to the filling. So that goes in. Also some onions. I'm just going to try and chop it as finely as possible. You could even use some red onions or some shallots if you have that at home. And I'm going to put all of these peelings into my compost bin. You can chop them as finely as you like. I'm not a great chopper, so it's always roughly chopped for me. So in goes the onions. That onion was so strong. I'm not actually crying, I'm really happy. So I'm going to add some heat to the filling with this chili. And please use the seeds, because there's really no point in using a chili if you're not going to add the seed. And obviously, if you don't want the heat, just skip the chili, that's absolutely fine. This goes into the mixture too. And now for some ginger. I always use a spoon to peel it off because it's the least wastage of the ginger. If you use a knife, you're literally peeling off half the ginger anyways. So try this next time you use ginger in your cooking. It's the lovely gingerness. I love ginger. I add it to a lot of my food and to like a cup of tea. Great for baking. Just I'm grating it finely because you don't want kind of chunks of ginger in the filling. Now this bit you could just add it to your cup of tea, and that's the ginger done. And now some spices. So chaat masala has a lovely sourness to it, which comes because of the amchur powder, the mango powder that's in it. It's also got a bit of cumin, a bit of coriander. So all in all, it's a really lovely spice blend. You can even just use some amchur powder, which is dried mango powder, or if you can't even find that, then just use a bit more of the garam masala that I'm going to add next, and some salt. And now we just mix up the filling and then get it ready to roll the parathas. There's only one way to mix this. Get your hands in, give it a good mix, squash it up nicely so that the spices are mixed up well. The potato has soaked it all in, and then we can roll out the parathas. Oh, it smells so good. Really, really good. You know what? This would be amazing. My mouth is watering. This would be amazing on a slice of toast. Grate some cheese, put it under the grill. Oh, so good. Or you could just roll it up, put some corn flour and deep fry them. Deep fried roast potato balls. Oh God, that sounds so good. Right, let's stick to parathas right now. So we have the dough that has rested. We have the filling ready. I've got my rolling pin here, and let's start preparing the parathas. So it's lovely and soft at the moment. Look at that. Just gonna try divide as equally as possible. So I'm just going to use one at a time. Leave the rest in the bowl covered because you don't want to dry them out. Just take a little bit of flour, then we roll. So once you've got a little circle like this, you get the filling in, and don't be shy with the filling, and then pinch this together to seal it. Just press it gently. You can get the kids involved in this as well. This is quite a fun thing to make. So you want to roll them out so they are not too thick, otherwise they won't cook through. So just when you get to around 6 to 7 inch big circle, that should be a good thickness. So I am making 8 parathas today, but if you are not going to use them all up, sometimes I would half cook them, put them in a box, and then whenever we want to eat the parathas, I would fry them up fresh and eat them piping hot. I am so excited about Christmas, all the food, sharing it, and just the house is full of light and laughter. Just love this time of the year. Now all of them are rolled. I am going to start cooking them. So use a frying pan or a skillet to fry these off. We're not kind of deep frying them, we just kind of cooking them until they are nice and golden. A couple of minutes here. So I first cook this on a dry pan, and once they are lightly golden, that's when we add the oil. Just spread it. So just making sure that it's all coated nicely before I flip this up. And now we let it sizzle. Oh, they smell so good. And that's it, it's done. Just 2-3 minutes, and look at the color on the paratha, a beautifully deep golden. I'm now just going to cook them all before I serve them. So these parathas are a meal in itself. You really don't need a separate curry or a dish to go with this. We would eat this with a little bit of yogurt on the side. Maybe if you have some pickle, that would be amazing, or a chutney if that's what you have at home. So once I've cooked them all, I'm going to serve them straight away, nice and still warm. If you like this recipe, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get a notification every time we share a new recipe. Now the all-important butter. You can't serve the parathas without some lovely butter on top. And here are the roast potato parathas. Piping hot, bathed in butter. Look at that lovely potato filling with all the spices. It smells incredible, and a bit of chilli and coriander. The dough is just crisped up on the edges. Absolutely delicious. I really hope you guys are going to try this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Merry Christmas.